Unit 5 Grammar. The present perfect. Look at this girl. She's running. And look at the time now. It is 6 o'clock in the evening. She started running at 4 o'clock. And she ran until now. Now it is 6 o'clock. So she has run for 2 hours. Or we can say that she has run since 4 o'clock because the action began at 4. How long is an expression that means how much time. So this how long is the time between 4 and 6. How long has she run? She has run for 2 hours. Since is the moment when an action started. This action started at 4. So, since when has she run? She has run since 4 o'clock. Now look at this couple. They are dancing, and it's 7:30 in the evening. They started dancing at 7. So they have danced for 30 minutes because they started at 7 and now it's 7:30. Or we can say that they have danced since 7 o'clock. What have they done? They have danced. How long have they danced? They have danced for 30 minutes. They started at 7 and now it's 7:30. Since when have they danced? They have danced since 7 o'clock. This man is Mr. Johnson. He works in a factory. And look at the time. The present year is 2020. Mr. Johnson started working in that factory in 2010. What has Mr. Johnson done? He has worked in a factory. How long has Mr. Johnson worked? He has worked 14 years. Remember that he started working in 2010 and the present year is 2020. So he has worked for 10 years. Since when has Mr. Johnson worked? He has worked since 2010. Look at this girl. Her name is Michelle. She's French and she's 23 years old. Michelle lives now in Mexico City. She was born in Paris, and she lived in Paris from 1997 to September 2019. In September, she moved to Mexico City. She started living in Mexico City in September 2019. What has she done? She has lived in Mexico City. How long has she lived in Mexico City? She has lived in Mexico City for 7 months. Since when has she lived in Mexico City? She has lived in Mexico City since September 2019. The present perfect is a structure made with a combination of verbs. The verb have or has and the past participle of any other verb. Remember that the verb have is I have, you have, she, he, and it have, we, and they have. The verbs in English have three basic forms: the simple form, the past form, and the past participle. If we have a verb like the verb be, the simple form is be, the past was were, and the past participle is been. A verb like eat is eat, ate, eaten. A verb like know is know, knew, known. And a verb like win, won, won. Remember that these four verbs are irregular verbs. Study, the past tense is studied, and the past participle studied. Walk, walked, walked. Remember that these two verbs are irregular. So, if we have a present perfect like know, we are going to have I have known, you have known, she, he, and it has known, we and they have known. The present perfect with be is I have been, yo he sido, yo he estado, you have been, tú has sido o estado, she, he, it has been, we and they have been. The present perfect in the negative form needs only the word not. For example, in the verb play, we say, I haven't played, you haven't played, she, he, it hasn't played, and we, they haven't played. For the interrogative form, that is, for the questions, we change the order of the words. In the affirmative, we have something like Susan has jumped. We move has at the beginning, and then Susan as the second word. So we say, has Susan jumped? The present perfect interrogative with a verb like write is, have I written? He escrito. Have you written? Has escrito. Has she, he, it written? Have we or have they written? The present perfect can be used to tell about life experiences. This man, Harry, doesn't like fast food. So, Harry has never eaten fast food. Daniel dreams of going to Paris, but he has never been to Paris. Sam and Layla are very unfortunate. They have never walked. Mr. Benson is blind. He has never seen anything. Now, for questions about life experiences, we use the phrase, have you ever? Ever means at any point or at any moment in your life. For example, have you ever climbed a mountain? Have you ever gone bungee jumping? Have you ever had a dog? Have you ever seen a monster? Now, answer the questions, choose one answer. You can say, yes, I have, or no, I haven't. Have you ever climbed the mountain? Have you ever gone bungee jumping? Have you ever had a dog? Have you ever seen a monster? Now, exercises to practice. Answer the questions using the present perfect. Use have or has and the past participle. What have they done? Look, the verb play is play, played, played. So they have played soccer. What has she done? Look at the verb drive. Drive, drove, driven. She has driven. What has he done? The verb watch is watch, watched, watched. He has watched TV. What has she done? The verb read, 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 read. She has read. How long have they ridden? This comes from the verb ride. Ride, rode, ridden. They have ridden for 5 hours. They started with 1, now it's 6. So they have ridden for 5 hours. How long have they swum? The verb swim is swim, swam, swum. They started at 12, now it's 12:45, so they have swum for 34 minutes. How long has she read? She has read for 1 hour. How long has he watched TV? He has watched TV for 8 hours. Since when have they walked? They have walked since 5 in the afternoon. Since when has she written? She's written since 1. Since when have they played? They have played since 10 in the morning. Now, questions about life experiences. Answer the questions with yes or no and have or has, or haven't or hasn't. If the answer is no, add an extra sentence with the word never. Example, have they ever played soccer? No, they haven't. They have never played soccer. Has she ever driven a car? Yes, she has. Has she ever lived in Paris? Yes, she has. Has she ever read a book? No, she hasn't. She has never read a book. Have they ever ridden horses? No, they haven't. They have never ridden horses. Have they ever swum? Yes, they have. Has he ever watched TV series? No, he hasn't. He has never watched a TV series. Now, answer questions about your own life experiences. Say, yes, I have, or no, I haven't. And if the answer is no, add an extra sentence with the word never. Example, have you ever played soccer? No, I haven't. I have never played soccer. Have you ever watched a TV series? Have you ever ridden a horse? Have you ever climbed a mountain? Have you ever lived in Paris? Have you ever danced the tango? Have you ever run for 30 minutes?